guys? Welcome to our final episode, at least for this spoiler set of the Scoop Phase. Dun dun dun!
We really need someone else to sing that.
We need a theme song, guys.
We need not you.
You sure that's not it? It seems pretty good. I mean...
It might be, but your singing was awful.
Oh, yeah.
You had to think about it?
I had to think about it. We might do more after this. Not involving spoilers. We might not. Because college life.
Or we
Work
just
life.
don't like mono black and standard for 3 months.
Fair enough. Alright, we're going to start off with the... We're sorting by new spoiler. We're going to skip June 28th if you're on Mythic Spoiler and just go on from there. Because this is where things are interesting. We're going to start with Necromancer's Stockpile. It's a neat enchantment. It's 1 in the black. If you tap 1 in the black and discard a creature card, you draw a card. If the discard card was a zombie card, you get a 2/2 black zombie creature token and play tapped. That's probably not going to be super relevant if you're playing this card. This seems like a perfectly fine card for against control decks. And as a one-of in a black aggressive, or probably a black mid-range deck that's not mono black devotion. That doesn't want Underworld connections, or I guess after rotation won't have access to it. Just because not every creature you have is going to be good against a control deck.
Like, Caryatid's way late game.
Caryatids are going to be bad. Against, Detention Sphere and Supreme Verdict, and any other kind of answer they have to Pack Rat. Pack Rat's just going to be really bad, and you'd probably rather just draw a card instead of playing it out. Unless you know for a guaranteed 100% fact that your Pack Rat will not die to the cards in their hand or off the top of their deck. So this card might make an impact. It would be nice to see. It seems like a very interesting card. And hey, if some kind of weird zombie decks come out of Standard that I don't see possible, because I don't really know what zombies are in Standard, then that would also be really cool.
Not good. That's what zombies are in Standard.
Boonweaver Giant. He's a 6 and a white 4/4.
Cool.
Whenever he enters, you get a tutor for an aura card. Or graveyard, hand, or library.
Yeah.
And put it into play attached to him.
Anywhere but exile the command zone.
That seems very good in some kind of EDH deck where you could abuse that. Getting 7 mana is not really hard.
So what's this?
There are plenty of very powerful auras in EDH that you could play.
There's a new powerful aura. I'm happy.
And then there's always the ability to just blink this guy to get some value, which is nice. Court of Calling's back in Standard. That was printed a long time ago, back in the old Ravnica when Convoke was first printed.
Was it 3 years ago? 2 years ago? That's not that long.
No idea. It's green X. The Convoke keyword, tap any number of untapped creatures to reduce this card's cost by colorless or by a colored mana symbol.
Of that creature's color.
And Court of Calling is search your library for a creature card with X or less as a convert mana cost and put it into play.
Does it say X or less? Does it say X?
X or less.
Oh, okay.
It's extremely powerful card. If you're playing this, you probably want to know your deck a little better than, just don't pick up the deck, because you want to know what you can court for and what situations. But Court of Calling is a very powerful card. It sees play in Modern in a few decks. Just because of... Whoa, man. All the phones going off. It must be 9 o'clock here. But yeah, Court of Calling is an extremely powerful card. Sees lots of play in several Modern decks, mainly the Birthing Pod decks. It's such a powerful card that it can easily see Standard play, and will see Standard play at some point during its existence in Standard. I'm not entirely sure what decks will adopt it, but I can't wait to see what shenanigans people do with this. I'm hoping someone tutors up Prime Speakers, Aganas, and Prophets of Crewfix. But that's just me.
Wasn't there a green card that was going to make play green?
No idea. But there is the new Garruk. He wasn't mono black like some people thought he would be. He's green black like several other people thought he would be.
Like me.
He's 7 mana coming down at 5 loyalty. So even though it's a lot of mana, he does have quite a bit of loyalty just starting off, which is very nice. So he's already defending himself there. His +1 is destroy another target planeswalker. So he's kind of like a Karn or Nicol Bolas in that fashion, that he can kill planeswalkers. He's also coming down super late in the game. And it's also a plus, like Nicol Bolas's was, whereas
Or
Karn's
early.
was a minus.
Except his just straight green black, so you can.
Yeah, he's just straight
You
green
can
black.
you can reliably just ramp into him
Yeah, you can ramp into him, unlike reliably ramping into a Nicol Bolas without Mana Rocks in Modern or EDH or something.
or duels of planeswalkers.
Or
and
duels
boxes.
Planeswalkers and Moxes. So being able to shoot down other Planeswalkers is very nice. It also goes great with his flavor of being Garruk, the Apex Hunter, who's now hunting Planeswalkers since he's Veil Cursed, which is a card in
Oh god.
the set, which we're going to get to. I'm very excited for it. The next card... Oh, wait, yeah, we should probably go over the rest of his abilities. +1, you put a 3/3 green-black Death Touch... It went away. Just a black beast creature token with Death Touch on the battlefield. So an extremely good ability, as it's a +1, so he's defending himself. Very similar to pretty much every Garruk that's been printed.
What was it?
Except for Garruk Relentless. 3 of the 4 Garruks have made a beast that are 3/3. His is a plus like Garruk Primal Hunter was. Garruk Relentless made Woofs. His is Death Touch in black, which is not like the other ones, but it's still neat because he's defending himself. His -3 is destroy target creature and you gain life equal to its toughness. So far for 7 mana he's not terrible. He's just kind of expensive. So maybe some kind of like black-green devotion deck can afford to play this guy. Because he's, so far, with just the first 3 abilities, because he's one of the few Planeswalkers with a 4th ability, he's very good. Its ultimate is my favorite part.
You know what I
Target
like?
opponent... Shut up.
His
Target...
wolves.
His
They're big.
Target opponent gets an emblem with it. Whenever a creature attacks you, it gets +5/+5 and gains trample. Now that is not a game-ending ultimate, but it's certainly
It's a good one.
it's certainly a very good ultimate. I don't know if it will ever I don't think it on its own as an emblem is what you're gonna play him for.
It's the wolves and the killing thing.
Yeah, against a control deck, you probably don't want to ultimate him unless you know your opponent doesn't have a way to answer your creature at instant speed. Against every other deck, it's probably fine. But his plussing to make Woofs every turn, or not Woofs, Beast every turn,
I don't like there's not a choice with
Yeah.
that plus. You have to hit a planeswalker.
Another,
if you want to
though.
use it. Which is, if you don't want to, you can't just like +1 like a beast, but that was weird.
I mean, shooting down Elspeths, Jaces, seems pretty good. Then,
Except the new Jace.
here's a card I'm very excited about. Aether Spouts.
Ah, right, yes.
It's 3 blue. It's like the Devastation Tide effect of this
More like
set.
evacuate. On roll.
Devastation Tide was like Evacuate. They're all the same-ish card.
Evacuate was, yeah.
Aether Spouts, for each attacking creature, its owner puts it on the top or bottom of his or her library. That's it's really funny.
It's one of those like
Yeah, it's kind of like
Punisher mechanics.
it's kind of
Like-
Punisher card. It's like a pseudo Wrath. It makes your opponent make their choices, and every time you give your opponent to make a big mistake, it can always end up working out well. For the most part, your opponent's probably just going to put 1 creature, maybe 2 on top, depending on what their creatures are,
Or like-
and then the rest on bottom.
Probably none. It might be 1 on top, maybe. If that.
Just so they know they're drawing gas. But sometimes it just depends on their deck. Like if they're playing Storm with Dragons and Voice of Resurgence and such, they're probably putting more than 1 or 2 cards on top, because those cards are all powerful against the deck that would be playing this card.
Yes, because you totally did this on their turn when they had a voice instead of like Supreme Verdict or something.
Well, so you gotta do what you gotta do to not die. Not dying is an important part of Magic.
I also don't know what deck is gonna play this like over Supreme Verdict because this would
Hey,
be
bro.
like Grixis maybe.
The next
but
3 months of Standard don't exist as far as I care. Unless someone does something interesting other than us trying to force decks that people won't play ever because they don't want to innovate in Standard and just want to play Mono Black for the next 3 months. So
Oh no!
the last week
that,
of Standard,
that is stereotyping.
I'm fine with that.
That is not approved.
And except during the last week of Standard, where
just don't-
everything is Standard and people are just going to play awesome decks at FNM, so go watch FNM streams because you'll see all the weird decks. I mean, unless you are a Spike and then don't want to watch that.
I don't know why Prime Speaker isn't a standard deck.
Now we know what the game... No, not the game. The pre-release promos.
Yeah.
Phyto Titan is the green one.
That's the pre-release promo? I don't think
Yeah.
so. What?
Phyto Titan.
Oh right, yeah, that is.
The 6 mana 7/2. When he dies, at your next upkeep, he'll re-enter tapped.
Oh, that was the inside.
Resolute Archangel, the 7 mana 4/4 flyer. Whenever it enters, if your life total is less than your starting life total, it goes back to your starting life total. The new clone, Mercurial Pretender. It's a 5 mana clone, except it has tap 2 and blue return this creature to its owner's hand. The red one, Sea Dragon, the 7-mana 5/5 flyer. When it enters, destroy all walls your opponents control. Opponents control is important. And when it attacks, if the I don't know what's in this core set. If the defending player controls no walls, it deals 2 damage to each creature without
How many
flying
good
or
walls have
flying
there ever been in Standard that aren't like a Mana Dork wall?
Wall of Omens.
Sure.
Wall of Denial. I don't know if that was good, but I have a feeling it was. It was 0/8 Defender Flying Shroud.
That would have to be in the blue-white control deck, and I'm not sure if that was around it.
No idea.
We weren't there for that.
No, we weren't.
But I like Wall of Denial. I actually don't know if it was ever Standard. I'm pretty sure.
Wall of Blossoms.
Yeah, Wall of Blossoms.
That was a long time ago, and we were not around for that.
Creatures were bad then. It was not a good wall, and that's
It said draw a card.
Didn't matter.
Indulgent Tormentor is the black one. It is easily the best promo card for the pre-release.
Depending
So most people will be going black.
on how many other people go.
So if you want to go black at the pre-release, go pre-register now.
Or Bonfire on a stick, like many.
You're going with the black one, and you're gonna go pre-register now for the black one, so you get it.
Yeah.
Because this is a 5/3 for 3 black, and flying demon. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card unless your target opponent, sacrifices a creature or pays 3 life.
So it's either draw a card, kill a creature, or lightning bolt them.
It's
bump in the night.
It's simply a case of wizards doing the...
Like, that's playable in Mono Black Standard.
Well, they're trying to make the pre-release promos equal on power level, whereas the other 4, none of them are really extremely overpowered or just straight up better than the other one. This black one easily overshadows...
I like the red one.
Well, the black one overshadows all of them easily.
Oh, yeah.
It comes down earlier.
Yeah. It overshadows because it's black.
It's bigger. Well, it's not bigger. It's bigger than 2 of them. Equal power as 1 of them. And the only thing bigger than all of them is a Fido Titan. But it's a Fido Titan.
It's a Titan. I might just play it because it's green.
Wizards should probably stop doing this for pre-releases. Because last set, Journey into Nyx, it was just white. If you went to the pre-release and you didn't pick white, you actually hurt your odds of beating a lot of the white players, even if their boxes were terrible, just because their promo is so much better than every other promo that you could get with your boxes.
Cool crap. Blue all the way.
The blue one was good. The white one was the second best.
Getting shot.
I noticed. The white one was easily the best. In that Journey to Nyx, it was the 2/4 flying lifelink heroic. It gets 2 counters. Just an overtly overpowered card for a pre-release as a promo. Not to mention if you also pulled one in your box, which, hey, I didn't do that or anything and win games. Whatever. So yeah, pre-release, going black.
I would have gone undefeated had I not made
all this set is spoiled, by the way, guys, so we have plenty to talk about. Goblin Rubble Master, 2 and a red for a 2/2. Other goblin creatures you control attack each turn Fable. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you put a 1/1 red goblin creature token with haste onto the battlefield. So if you play this guy, you're immediately going to get value out of it, and you're going to get a 1/1 that can attack them. Sometimes you want to play in main phase too.
I don't know why.
So you don't always just want to attack with your 1/1. It could end badly if they have a guy with lifelink.
But goblins have to attack.
Yeah, other goblins.
Yes.
And when he attacks, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each other attacking goblin. Limited card. This guy's pretty good. He's not the most amazing late game, but there's also
promo, that's right.
Yes, there's also a lot of cards that are amazing late game and limited. This guy's amazing early game though. Like if you slam this guy down on turn 3, or turn 2 if you have a turn 1 mana to work.
They switched him out for Chief Engineer as the buy box promo. I might have just bought a box, but I don't.
Chief Engineer, speaking of, is the game day promo. The rare one, so we'll get to that in a second. The uncommon one is Reclamation Sage. It's 2 and a red for a 2/1. When it enters, you may destroy
2 and a green.
2 and a green for a 2/1. However you want to say it.
We could say mana cost like Scotty Mac does. Green and 2.
When Reclamation Sage enters the battlefield, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. The keyword there is may, and it's 2/1. Several of my friends think this is just going straight up replace Harmonic Sliver in Modern.
Meh.
Because it says may and has 1 more power, while you're still able to pot into it.
Harmonic Sliver's a 1/1?
Yes. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it really...
You can play this in green decks.
I don't know if this really matters. I do like this guy because he's a 3 mana naturalize on a stick. Normally when you stick a creature on a stick, it's always better. I think this guy had been 2 mana, he'd definitely see Modern play at 3 mana. We'll see
It'll
what
probably
happens.
replace Harmonic Sliver because there's no Sliver deck in Modern, or else Harmonic Sliver.
There are
wins.
fringe sliver decks.
There's not that many well played. Like no good player plays Slivers.
That we know of. I'm going to point out that we know of. Don't want to offend anyone. Other than massive stereotyping and terrible jokes and everything else that goes on the show that offends people.
Standard position.
So I like the card a lot. I'm hoping it sees play in Standard. We'll never know.
Shotgun OP.
Chief Engineer is the rare promo. You get Reclamation Sage. It's a full art promo. You get that for attending the game day. You just like paying $5 and being in it, you'll get it.
There is no text box on these promos, but it's
Yes,
not
there is.
like no, like there's no box. Like these have a text box. These don't. It's basically like, it's like
It's a full art promo
art.
and it has a text box.
There's no actual box. Like these.
I guess. Okay.
Like it's like
Just-
Planeswalker art.
just
is
go
the best
look
way
at
to
it
say
yourself. Yeah,
like
don't listen to
Planeswalker art.
Chief Engineer is the rare one. You get it if you top 8. The guy that makes all your artifact spells you cast have Convoke, and he's a 1/3 for 2. I don't really know what that's
Top
going-
art is the same style, but it's also in foil. So if
Okay.
it ever sees
We're
play,
done.
that's the one you want.
I don't know if it ever. I don't think anything came out that will be
Hey,
super affected
we're
by
doing a
it.
set review. I have
And-
my opinion.
And you're just speaking things about foils now,
Whoop-dee, that's what we were on. We were on promos.
but we don't need to go into that. Anyway, I don't really think Chief Engineer. I didn't see anything that's going to be overly impacted in this set, but maybe in the next set.
Because nobody wants
Never
to see
know.
Affinity around.
I do.
I don't want to see it in Standard.
It won't be the
I
same.
will-
It
I
won't be
will-
nearly the same. It won't
I
be
don't-
nearly as overpowered. I'm tired of Mono Black. Let's see something new.
I don't want to
Anyway.
see Affinity.
Grind Clock, 2 mana artifact. It has tap, put a charge counter. Tap, target player mills
I'm
the
not
top
gonna-
X cards of his library, X the number of counters on it. If Turbo Fog is to be a deck again, it's probably going to be playing this card. Or Maze's
Hey,
End.
was Fog in this set this time?
I believe it's actual Fog.
Huh?
I believe it's just actual Fog.
No, I was
don't know.
asking if it like I know there was like one that's only green creatures deal damage, but
Yes. So this card's definitely very nice for a Turbo Fog player. It seems fine against a control deck. Getting it up to 2, 3, 4 counters. Being free to tap it's nice. Maybe, I don't know if Clock of Omens was reprinted. I don't think it
I
was.
know.
But
Was
yeah,
Clock of Omens
if
in
you have
the core
anything
set?
that can untap this, it could like make it much more powerful. But it seems fine as is. Certainly, Turbo Fog players are going to want this card. So if you know someone who plays Turbo Fog, get this for them in foil if they're not already getting it for themselves. And they'll be your best friends. Trust me. Trust me.
I wouldn't trust you.
Generator Servant. It's 1 red for a 2/1 uncommon.
This card.
It's a common, which is nice.
Common. Oh.
Tap, sacrifice, add 2 colors to mana pool. If that mana is spent on a creature, it gains haste. I like it a lot.
And doesn't get like +1/+0 to
No, just 'cause haste.
I like it. Yeah.
I like it still.
Potentially standard playable.
It gives something haste, and it accelerates
Is it-
you to 5 mana on turn 3 by itself.
Unlike.
I mean, you can only use that for creatures, but
yeah,
yeah.
you know, you can use it for anything if it's used on a creature.
Oh my gosh!
Like, I think it's awesome. It's
That's
potentially
actually really good.
Yeah, it's potentially standard playable, but I don't know.
And in limited, worst case scenario, it is a 2 mana 2/1
So yeah, you play
that
it
is
if it's-
on curve.
If you're in red, you play it because it's a grizzly bear.
You don't
That
play
has
it
the
because
potential to ramp you.
it's just a good card, and it's a common, so you might get multiples and just play like a turn 3 Fido Titan. You never know. Probably not, because you'd have to have 2 in play. But if you go Elvish Mystic this guy into a Fido Titan and attack them for 7 on turn
Was
3,
Elvis Mystic in the course?
it's pretty good. I believe so. I don't know. I wasn't paying super attention. Stay in the mind. Convoke.
What is this?
Stay in
Stay in the
You name
mind.
an online card, search target player's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. Then they shuffle the library.
It's Slaughter Games, pretty
It's-
much. Like the original version was Memorcide, but
It's
this
the
has
member
Convoke.
side of the set.
Can be countered. That's a
It
big
can be
deal.
countered, unlike Slaughter Games.
That's why I don't like Slaughter Games whenever I'm playing against it. It's really
It has
unfair.
Convoke, which is nice. So maybe if you're like the mono black aggro deck going up against mono blue devotion, you just need something to like take out their best cards against
Master
you.
Waves. That's
Yes.
their best card against you.
Since you're playing so many creatures, this isn't really 5 mana for the mono black devotion deck, so they could easily sideboard this card because it's just not 4 mana, which is nice. Not for that deck anyway.
You mean 5?
No, it's not even 4 mana for that deck.
The mono black aggro deck.
Sliver Hive Lord. One of each color.
Oh, well, by the way, what's good about Convoke, guys?
5/5 Sliver.
The really good thing about Convoke is if you just played a creature, you can still use it for Convoke.
Yep. It is not caring whether it is
Like,
summoning sick or not.
Say something costs 5 and you only have like 5 mana. If you play 2 guys and you have 4 dudes and you still have mana, you can do it.
Sliver Hive Lord.
Suck it.
One of each color for a 5/5 Sliver. Legendary creature. Sliver creatures you control have indestructible. That's really good. If the Slivers deck is actually a 5-color Slivers deck, it's going to play this card. I'm
There's
going
the
to
EDH.
lose to this card at F&M.
There's an EDH deck.
I'm
I
going to
won't.
start playing in Standard again.
I won't.
And I'm going to
For
lose.
3 months, I won't.
I'm going to lose to this guy.
For months.
But this
after
guy's
that.
sweet. He gives things indestructible. And he's 5/5 for 5. And coming from a player who cast Chromanicore multiple times this past Standard, I understand how easy it is to cast this guy. So I like him a lot. I
3
probably
months.
won't play him, but I like him.
It'll be relatively easy for 3 months.
Act on Impulse, I think I want to touch on this. 2 in a red. Exile top 3 cards of your library. Until your next turn, you may cast those
right.
cards.
Yeah.
You don't want this in an aggressive deck.
No.
Because...
It costs 3 to play. Like, I'm not sure. Like, this might be played. This is probably gonna play in EDH for sure. But
and then at your next upkeep, you can no longer cast those spells. So maybe, I don't know.
your next upkeep. Is that what it says?
Until your next turn. Your upkeep's next turn.
Until your next turn. Okay.
So until end of turn. That's not even...
I was gonna say
Wow.
even if it's
Nope.
until your next turn.
It's until the end of this
Like,
turn.
I
This
was
card's
gonna
not
If
amazing.
it was an instant speed that's until your next turn, it'd be playable a lot more. Because then you could cast counter spells from the top of your deck. But I'm pretty sure it didn't say that.
Kurosk, Anak Ancient. He's an Ogre Spirit,
Kurosk.
legendary creature, 2 red for a 4/3. Whenever you activate ability of an artifact, if it isn't a mana ability, you may pay red. If you do, you copy that ability and choose new targets. Or you can choose the same one, doesn't really matter.
Mindslaver.
It's interesting.
Mindslaver.
Maybe we're gonna get Mind
Isn't
Saver.
he legendary?
He's a legend, so he could be a commander. I don't know what mono red artifact deck there is,
Or you can tutor for him with Legend Tutor.
or you could tutor form with legend
Hero's
tutors.
Podium, though. That deck, the Hero's Podium deck. If only Hero's Podium was a creature.
Kurosk is an interesting card. He might see play in EDH. I'm not really too familiar with like a ton of EDH decks, as most of my EDH friends just play green decks. Of
Lot
some,
of green.
some variant, lots of green.
A lot of green or a lot of blue. Because
Not
those are
really.
the 2 best colors.
Not really any artifact-based deck, so I don't know how good it'll be, but I'm sure someone does. Leeching Sliver, 1 in the black, 1/1. Whenever Sliver attacks, whenever Sliver you control attacks, defending player loses 1 life. For 2 mana, it's a 1/1. Seems pretty decent. It's just a way to get in free damage if you're not able to attack in, like through their blockers, but you still need to get in damage. You can attack with 1 or 2 creatures that they're not going to block anyway. Get in some free damage. That's going to be nice. Hornet Nest, Defender, 2 and a green for a 0/2. Whenever it's dealt damage, you put that many 1/1 green insect creature tokens with Flying Death Touch onto the battlefield. I don't think it's that amazing.
Horned Wing?
It seems really good and limited.
It could potentially see anybody some in the devotion like if there's mono green devotion, simply because it has 3 green symbols and it makes
It's
4
2
dudes.
colorless,
Like, was it
1
like
green.
5 dudes, right?
2 colorless, 1 green, and you get 1.
Wait, what is this? Oh, Hornet's Nest. I thought
This
we were
is
talking
not
about
Hornet Queen.
It's like whenever it takes damage, you get a 1/1 death touch.
Yeah.
Now that like
If this is limited, this card's fine. My phone's going off again.
like you can play it against the mono red slide deck. You can sideboard it if that deck's become popular because then you get a million death touch, or you get 2 death touch.
Still fun. The Chain Veil. 4 colors to play, artifact, legendary, 4 and tap to activate it. At the beginning of your end step, this is before the activate ability. I skipped a part. At the beginning of your end step, if you didn't activate a loyalty ability of a planeswalker this turn, you lose 2 life. Tap 4 and it. For each planeswalker you control, you may activate one of its loyalty abilities once this turn, as though none of its loyalty abilities have been activated this turn.
Like you
It's
get
a
a
very-
plus Garuk and then you get a plus Garuk.
It's a very potent ability. I don't know how good it will be in Standard.
Not sure of the flavor.
The
Doesn't seem that flavorful to me.
I don't.
Seems like the chain
The
veil should
flavor
be
behind the Chain Veil should have been something like,
an equipment that makes you like a god.
or something like it warps planeswalkers.
Like
or
they
something.
lose like 2 toughness, but they get like lifelink death touch.
It should
for
be
a strike.
something that affects planeswalkers in true flavor style. But whatever.
That should.
Ensoul Artifact. One in
Oh.
the blue, enchant artifact that becomes a 5/5. It's neat. It's kind of all it does. Colonian Twin Grove.
Like,
It's a
isn't it
6-mana
non-creature artifact?
star. When it enters, you put a star elemental creature token into play. Was it named elemental? Nope, it's named Treefolk Warrior. It is a Treefolk Warrior. Both of the stars on both of these creatures will be the number of force you control. Dungrove Elder was a very powerful card back in
So it
Standard.
cost 3 mana.
But it was a
hexproof.
3-mana star, where the star is number 4 you control. And it also, once again, like Coast like number 2 said, had hexproof.
I think it was so good.
This is 2 of them.
I lost
without,
many games to it.
Yeah, this is 2 of them without the hexproof. The nice part about this
I also won many games with it.
is if they detention sphere either one of them, they won't hit the other because they don't have the same name. Which is nice. I don't know how good this card's going to be. Because if you're playing the mono green deck, you're also playing Nykthos and a bunch of mana dorks. So I don't really know how big
It's one
these
of those
guys.
late game cards.
Yeah, like
it's like sort of like a nightmare.
I'm not sure how good it will be
It
in the
just
mono
gets
green
bigger
version
and bigger.
decks. Sculling Doom Engine, I guess is what you're playing with Chief Engineer. It's a 6-mana 6/6. When it can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, and when it dies, it deals 6 damage to target opponent. It's an artifact creature construct. It's a rare. It is 6 colorless for 6/6, so it's Titan stats. So unlimited, this card's perfectly fine. I don't know how this will affect constructed,
I'm not sure, but I like it.
but it's neat. Spectral Ward. It's a 5-mana enchantment.
This is the one I was
Enchanted
talking about.
creature has +2/+2 and protection from all colors. It can't be blocked, targeted, or dealt damage by anything that's white, blue, black, red, or green. And that effect doesn't affect. Oh, this effect doesn't remove auras. So if you have auras on it before you put this enchantment on it, and then you put this enchantment on it, all of those auras will stay on it, which is nice. If you Sun Titan an aura onto that creature, it will stay on that creature.
Yes.
That's probably not relevant for standard purposes.
Or like
But,
that new guy. The new guy. If you enchant him and then like play another one or something. I don't know.
I'm looking at the rest of the set. This is what I'm looking at now. Divination's back for like the 5th billionth time in a row.
You know, you should let me look through.
Dissipate's back. 1 blue, counter target spell, exile instead. I don't know if the exile part will be relevant, but it was very relevant back when
Innistrad. It was an
Yeah.
Innistrad block card.
Flashback was
Yeah.
around. Other such things. Things that just cared about your
Unbear
graveyard.
was a big deal.
Gravecrawler. I don't know what other graveyard-based things there were. It's been a while. I was around for that. It was pretty awesome standard.
It
That
was
standard
most-
was amazing.
Snapcaster was a huge.
Farsight. But yeah, dissipates back. Diffusion Sliver. It's 1 blue for a 1/1. Whenever a sliver creature you control becomes a target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless they pay 2. That's very good. It makes removal really hard to cast. It makes something like Bioblight cost 4 mana. So, if the Sliver deck has some very neat tools, it can easily just sideboard this card to beat the Mono Black Devotion deck. If they just want to get aggressive
I
sometimes.
think it's main deck it.
They could just main deck it.
It was real good against like every deck.
But yeah, so that's a neat card. The artwork's also pretty good. Polymorphous Chess. All creatures, until end of turn, target player controls lose all abilities and become a blue frog with base toughness 1/1. It's pretty funny. 3-mana instant. All your opponent's creatures are now 1/1 frogs, no abilities. It's just kind of funny.
What's that back card in the middle? Can't.
Eternal Thirst. Enchant creature for 1 in the black. It has lifelink. Whenever creature opponent controls dies, it gets +1/+1 counter. It's pretty good. It's really good, actually.
It's pretty good. Well, I don't know about bomb, but it's pretty good.
Looking at the rest of these. Necrogen Scudder. Uncommon. 2 in the black for a 3/3 flyer. When it enters, you lose 3 life. Just a nice solid
Wait, 3/3
beater. Yeah, it's a 3/3 flyer for 3. Just a
Ooh,
nice
one
kind of
hard
solid
hit.
beater in limited. Belligrant Sliver. 2 in a red for a 2/2. Sliver creatures you can still have. This creature can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. It's a very good ability. I think the last one that had that was 5 mana? Maybe it was 2 mana. Or 4 mana. It's 5 mana, so I was right the first time. It's pretty good. But there's so many bulk cards in here.
course that.
Altec Bloodseeker. 1 in a red for a 2/1. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, gets +2/+0 and gains first strike and haste till end of turn. It's the main part on this card is it gets +2/+0 and first strike. So, if you have a creature that has first strike, it kills something before normal damage, and this is in play, it's also attacking. Like an Ash that kills a blocker, this will get +2/+0 and gain first strike. Now, it won't hit at first strike damage, because first strike damage has already happened, but it will hit at normal damage, and it will hit for 4 damage.
That reminds me of this story. I had a Boris Reckner.
And me.
Co-host here, number blog with 2 Ash Zealots. Or no, it was an Ash
Attack
Zealot.
with an Ash Zealot and a Spark Trooper.
Yes, attack with Ash Zealot and Spark Trooper, and I have Boris Reckner. So I block Ash Zealot, because it has first strike.
And kill my Spark
And then
Trooper.
kill his Spark Trooper before I take damage, and then kill his Ash Zealot because of combat. And then, like, chump blocked his other attacking creature. But it was pretty good for me. I had a good time.
I didn't. Back to nature. 1 in green, destroy all enchantments. I'm excited for that.
I am too.
If Auras ever becomes a big deck, green decks have a trump card.
Or, like, it's like over Deicide. I would play that over Deicide, like, every day.
Yep.
If I'm playing green.
There's several neat cards in here. Undergrowth Scavenger. For 3 in a green, you get a 0/0. It will enter with +1/+1 counters equal number of creature cards in all graveyards. So in like a Dredgemere, this card's just going to be obnoxiously huge.
Oh.
But it's still a fine
card. Is it the one
card.
that enters with counters or the one that gets a counter?
It's the one that enters with counters. Because it's 0/0, otherwise it would die. So it's a neat card. There are several effects like that. This is 4 mana, so it might see play. Which is nice. 4 in a green. I think you play this card in limited if you get it. Convoke. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards and put them on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Nisa's Expedition even has the little World Wake in the back, which is nice. Whoa, bro. Your internet died. Whoa. But yeah, it's nice. I'm not sure. I don't think it'll have any standard applications. It might. You never know, but I don't think it will. Haunted Plate Mail's back. That's nice. Sacred Armory. This is maybe not a limited bomb.
Let's go over Haunted Plate Mail. Some people are new.
No. Sacred Armory. 2 to play, 2 to activate. Target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. For an artifact, this is pretty good. If it gave +1/+1, this card would definitely be a limited bomb. As it stands now, it's just a really good limited card. And I personally would be more happy to take 1 or 2 of these in a draft, because it's just a mana dump if you're flooding out or you're not drawing relevant action
for opponents.
Yep. It allows your little guys trade up. There's 1 in the green for a 1/1. Sliver creature you control have Death Touch. It's nice. Rogue's Gloves. 2 to play, 2 to equip. It's Scroll Thieves.
Back to nature. That's why I was going to play green.
Yeah, whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. And that's kind of everything I see that I'm interested in. Because we've already gone over everything else. I know all the way down. So guys, I'm tired. I'm done going over spoilers. Are you done going over spoilers?
Go through real quick, see if you miss anything.
I missed everything.
I don't miss you.
I'm getting ready to go to work. Maybe why I sound a little tired. Because mornings are just evil and terrible. And they're the worst thing that could possibly happen in existence. And I wish that they would just stop. But mornings happen every day. I have to get over it. I'll find a way to deal with it, I'm sure. I'm sure, like, I won't just end everything and just quit.
Crowd's favorite.
But
Crowd's favorite is when you miss. 1 red, Convoke, so it can be free. Target creature, oh wait, no, different one. The 1 mana enchantment, +1/+1 in haste.
oh yeah.
And like when it enters, target creature can't block.
Alright, went over.
Hammer.
I'm gonna go finish getting ready for work, guys.
That's what it is. Okay, no, you didn't miss anything. Except we didn't go over Haunted Plate Mail.
Nope.
I love it so much.
So this will be the last episode of the Scoop Phase for M14. We might do some other episodes, just if something interesting comes up that we really want to talk about. Modern, Legacy. Probably not Legacy. Probably just more Modern or Standard, that if we hear about it.
Then we can't just go over in the versus videos of MTG Steam Brewery versus videos.
Bam. Shameless plugs. I mean, it's not shame. It is shameless because we're kind of the ones who also do that.
It's kind of the other half of this channel, right?
Yes. Okay. Moving on. You guys can find us on Twitter
I don't want to move on. I do not like change.
at Pearsall's Blog. It's not change. It's the same thing every week.
What do we change every 3 months?
At Pearsall's Blog. Send all of your hate mail there. Send all of your hateful comments to me personally. Just say Josh when you're addressing Pearsall's Blog, and we'll know it was for me. You can also send hate mail to pearsallsblog@yahoo.com. If you have fan mail, then please be sure to tweet it at me and then email it to me, because then I can tell the world, hey, not everyone hates me, even though you probably hate me. You're not such a pessimist.
I know, I just don't like you.
I know, I hate you too.
If you want to follow someone on Twitter who never tweets,
Follow at Zane Pearsall.
ZanePearsall@yahoo.com.
Go check out my articles on mtgbrodeals.com. An amazing website.
Why did this get awkward?
I don't know, but it did. mtgbrodeals.com.
I think it's because you were silent for a second.
I am not the only writer on there. Because it's not my website, I am one of the writers. They produce awesome
Do
content.
you want it to be your website? It sucks, I can't help you.
I'm trying to think. I don't really want to... Oh, I guess I have my own that I stopped using. That was a creepy mask, is the name.
The gag ball.
Payday 2, guys.
Hey, too, guys.
Read all of my original writings on pearsallsblog.wordpress.com. Something should be going up on that soonish. I don't know how soon soonish is. Next week, maybe. College life. Anything else that I need to talk about, sir?
How much you suck.
I don't think I should talk about that. I think we can talk about something else.
I don't know, I can't think of anything.
Bye, guys! Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.